if there was a team to stop either Resurgence or Ascension Gaming, they would come from Group B, of course. Not Mineski or Team Anything, unfortunately. They couldn't stop them. Pero, headed into this next match, I do believe we have to tell the viewers about the penalty that will be issued to Ascension Gaming. There was a bit of a roster switch up, which they should have been penalized during their day 1 match against Resurgence, but they still weren't able to give the penalty. That's why they're going to issue it for this game specifically. Now, what's going to happen is Ascension Gaming will lose 2 bans during their first banning phase, which not that much at stake considering this match is not exactly the heaviest. So I guess we'll just have to see what Ascension Gaming decides to do as we head straight into pick and ban.
Bit unfortunate right there, but it's right straight to it. So as you can see, Resurgence first ban gonna be Aatrox, of course. Ascension Gaming not gonna be seeing any bans from them sometime soon, so we're just gonna let that settle for now. Wait for the timer to go all the way down. But with that said, with only 4 champions to be taken off the board within this first rotation, it kind of makes you wonder. There's a lot open for the taking, so there's a lot of prime picks. It actually kind of goes both ways here, wherein, sure, it's Ascension Gaming that loses out on 2 bans, but at the same time, since there's a lot more open, there's a tad bit of a disadvantage for Resurgence, because with more open and them only having that one shot, that one pick at picking their first champ, in a way, Ascension Gaming comes off with more of an advantage by securing 2 high-value picks.
Yeah, and right now, Arthur, I'm looking at the players for Resurgence. I don't see Shinsekai in the top lane. Looks like they've subbed out their top laner for Blair. So we're going to see a new player here on the side of Resurgence. Gonna give him a bit of a warm-up for Globe Conquerors, because we might see him in action this weekend. But you did mention that a lot of the champions are open for this one. Akali not one of them. She is disabled for this specific event. But could this be one of those fun games?
Well, I don't know, man. At this point, well, since none of this has bearing, I mean, even with Resurgence winning, there's no real way that they could overtake Ascension Gaming. So, I don't know. I'd still like to see a serious game, just because, like you mentioned, these 2 teams right here could face each other in the finals come playoffs. So, nonetheless, Resurgence looks like, with all the champions open for the taking, they'll be putting higher priority on the Zoe for Raven.
Yeah, that does kind of pinch Ascension Gaming a bit here. They will be giving up the Zoe over to Resurgence. Now, what does Ascension Gaming take? It will be the Rakan here for Rich, another playmaking support like he prefers. Do they go the route of Xayah Rakan bot lane? I wonder, that is the question on my mind.
Let's see, is it going to be the traditional lovebirds of the bot lane? But no, looks like we're going to have a little bit of a shake-up here. It is going to be the Kai'Sa prioritized for Nixer in this case.
You know, if this Illaoi is locked in, it's going to be one of those fun games. We've seen Illaoi previously, but didn't exactly perform to the best standards. Okay, Kralix is pretty much just trolling us, deciding on what he wants to pick up here. Will be the Caitlyn now. Caitlyn Morgana instantly decided upon by Resurgence. It's a very strong dual lane 2v2 against the Kai'Sa and the Rakan, of course. The oppression from Caitlyn's range and the Dark Binding from the Morgana could easily zone both Nixar and Rich away from the minion waves. That's one thing to watch out for now. Ascension Gaming should pick up a jungler here. We've seen Lloyd previously get pinched down. It seems like he struggles on the other types of junglers, but G4 gonna jump on that Irelia actually.
Wow, so interesting spread that we have here so far. I mean, we haven't really seen as much Irelia in this tournament just because...
Is this our first Irelia?
I think
this is our first Irelia of Globe Conquerors Manila, and yeah, you were gonna jump on the fact that we haven't seen that much Irelia due to the recent patches. I feel like Riot was really very brutal when it came to nerfing her stats.
Yeah, I mean, Irelia came in with her rework with such a bang that it's almost having flashbacks of the old Irelia.
Oh yeah,
where she got hit by the nerf hammer quite a bit. But still, looks like this time around Ascension Gaming gonna find themselves still choosing that champion. Still very much viable, unlike the previous old Irelia. Looking at these bans though, heavier focus of jungle options from Kralix right here. Dr. Mundo has been taken away from Rocky. Man, we did see what that Mundo could do earlier during game number 3.
Yeah, Rocky was an absolute beast on that Dr. Mundo. Nobody could really deal with him once he got super tanky, once he got his 3 items. Let's see what Resurgence decides to remove from Rocky. You know, Rocky has shown to have this massive champion pool that I feel like tossing bans towards the top lane is not the best decision against Rocky. I'd prefer if teams just look for a better matchup for their own top laner. Will be double tank bans on the side of Resurgence. So no Mundo or Cho'Gath for Rocky. What does Ascension decide to go for here? They're looking for a jungler.
Time is ticking. Still no decision coming in from Ascension Gaming. But looks like they'll just be going for the Gnar for Rocky, in which case, as the priority within the second rotation of picks.
It does make sense. Gnar would have been the common sense blind pick for Resurgence into any basically top lane matchup. And Rocky does like split pushing champions. Gnar very much a split pushing champion. Resurgence, we're going to pick up the Ornn here. Okay, so it will be the Ornn, not the best matchup in the Gnar, but always going to be relevant when it comes to those 5v5 team fights. Call of the Forge God can easily help them start fights. They're looking for a final pick jungle here. Kralix was hovering a lot of those possible pickups. I'm still waiting on what they decide to go with, though.
Okay,
please.
Is he gonna go that route? Sinza will hover over right there. And okay, looks like Resurgence gonna be going the safer route here in terms of jungle pick.
I would have loved the Ramos.
I'm like the Pike or the Ramos. I would have loved to have seen that, but yeah, looks like we're not gonna get that opportunity for the meantime, Gisto. But something else came up as a surprise for Ascension Gaming.
This is the fun part, Arctic. We get to see some weird picks come out in games with less bearing, but of course, Xin Zhao has been very popular throughout the day. And Elise for Lloyd, bit of a legacy pick here. Elise has always been one of those really popular junglers in competitive play, but not as of recent memory. It's been quite a while since we've seen Elise.
You know what? I think this is the perfect time to touch on why Elise has fallen off in comparison to all these other junglers that tend to get much more priority, like Xin Zhao, like the Graves.
You know, I feel like Elise just... She's very early game focused, where in a sense, if you don't get those leads using her Cocoon during the early, if you're not able to pressure your enemy lane, she really heavily falls off. Whereas junglers such as the Xin Zhao, the Graves could not only pressure early but still have relevance towards mid to late game. And that's why teams have been veering away from this Elise pick. So excited to see how Lloyd plays around this specific jungle pick.
Oh man, this is gonna be so interesting. Truly,
yeah.
Anything can happen on the Southeast Asian stage for Globe Conquerors Manila. I'd love to see Lloyd pull off that at least, though. I mean, personally, I'm rooting for Resurgence at this point for Group A. But man,
say that because Mineski's out?
I've always been a fan of the Singaporean teams personally.
Okay.
So
I get that.
Yeah, I mean. My inspiration for esports started off with Singapore Sentinels way back. So, which is why my first time in Singapore I was fanboying when I visited the country.
Okay.
So, but yeah, anyways, that aside, with both sides having their compositions locked in, I mean, for Ascension Gaming, time will tell with the Elise locked in. But let's go ahead and talk about what Resurgence has managed to draft. Like, what do you think would be some of the conditions that they'd like to live up to heading into this game?
Well, for Resurgence, you see a lot of teamfight potential. We see Caitlyn here into the Kai'Sa, so lane dominance for Resurgence is the key here. Their bottom half of the map is super strong when you compare it to the top half of the map, where Rocky will always be pushing in the Ornn. So I'd expect Kralix to make more plays towards Ciela and Krak compared to Blair in the top lane.
I could have sworn I saw Blair from before. I can't remember if he was previously a collegiate competitor for Singapore or if he was... I think both ways. He was both that and was also a pro player that played at... Did he play at All-Stars last time? I think he did.
We could look it up.
Yeah, I'm going to look that up later. But of course, ladies and gents, from as you can see, both sides have locked in their compositions. Let us know who you're rooting for. Both teams already securing their slot. But of course, you want to give them that extra boost, as Chiso said, to give them that extra push, that extra morale heading into the playoffs. If you want to see Singapore's pride, Resurgence, take it. Hashtag RSG win. Be sure to use that hashtag. And of course, for the pride of Thailand, the first seed, Ascension Gaming, coming up on top in Group A. Can they take it all the way to a 6-0? Use hashtag ASA win and give them your energy.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see how this game pans out.
And there we have it, guys. Both sides heading on to the Rift right now. Game number 5 for Group A. It is on between Resurgence and Ascension Gaming. Who's going to have a better time coming off of this group right here? Will Resurgence manage to upset Ascension Gaming by not granting them the perfect streak? Or will Ascension Gaming do the opposite and escape with a 6-0 clean? Let's head on to the Rift to determine just that.
You know, Arctic, if Resurgence do pull off this invade, yeah, we're gonna flash Q go.
Are they gonna go for it? No, they're just gonna casually chase down Rich here.
Rich
like,
just have cleanse.
Rich will make it out just fine, I believe. You know. Interesting though. Looks like they're gonna go a little bit of a different route here, but Nixar should be just fine.
He's gonna get out pretty easily now. You always have to invade if you have Morgana on your team.
That's true.
Yeah,
but, Blair actually getting a boomerang hit from Rocky, but not really as significant. Take note of this vision, though, coming in from Ascension Gaming. So that'll definitely help out in determining what the path Krillix will have within these first few minutes. So expect a lot of safety for Ascension Gaming within the first few minutes.
Yeah, we're going to have one of those kind of fun, serious games. I'm thinking back, and I remember G4 playing Aurelia mid, the pre-rework. There was a time when Faker played Olaf into it.
Wow, that goes way back.
It took way, way back in Worlds. That was a time when Olaf mid became a thing in solo queue. Unfortunately for most of the people who played. But yeah, that's pretty much a big throwback here. It's kind of how G4 is remembered.
Yeah, not just that. I mean, throwback is actually quite appropriate for this game. And we keep on going back to this, at least right here. But Krellix actually making a transition towards Ascension Gaming's blue buff, but same gonna go for Lloyd right here. Of course, like I mentioned, Vision is pretty much on point to spot out both junglers, so definitely not gonna be any shenanigans sometime soon in terms of ganks. Potentially the actual lane matchup, sure.
And if Resurgence takes down Ascension here, I still feel like it will be a massive upset if Ascension Gaming loses this match, because considering the way that Ascension has been playing throughout the group stage, for the most part, they've been super dominant against any team that they face. So, still an underdog story here for Resurgence.
Oh, without a doubt. And at the end of the day, for Ascension Gaming at least, I've really been liking how Nixar meshes well with the Ascension Gaming squad, but a little bit of a drowsy spell right there. On to G4. No harm done, though. Looks like going to be regenerating quite well. He did prioritize Corrupting Potion as his first item, just so that he could have that extra HP, extra mana to regenerate whenever he gets a few hits from Raven.
Yeah, wants to stay in lane longer, but speaking of staying in lane, does get hit by the drowsy.
Oh, that's dangerous, though, for G4. Krellix to go straight in, gets held down by Lloyd. Lloyd looks like going to try to look for vengeance, but man, Lloyd, is he going to continue? Is he going to try to get the pick off? Looks like he'll just try to walk away. One more hit. Raven gets the solo kill. Resurgence off to a great start with a 2-0.
Yeah, it's pretty much a disaster in the mid lane for Ascension Gaming. You don't want to give 2 kills this early over to the Zoe, very snowbally champion. Even burn summoners, G4 is calculating his damage, but speaking of damage,
yeah, looks like Ascension Gaming going to try to make things happen here in the bot lane. Unfortunately, mission abort for Rich. Had to back away right away, not able to get the optimal damage onto Kra, but great punish though, considering Kra is very much low mana on this Morgana, so not really any way he could trade off in terms of ability power damage.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Ciela and Kra will be playing the lane pretty passively. You don't want to go for any bad trades against the Kaisa and Rakan.
Oh,
though Kralix is already here.
Looks like they're ready to go for round 2, but that's going to be the stun onto Kralix. Unfortunately, gets collapsed on by both G4 and Lloyd before Raven could even do anything.
So Kralix dashed into that. Could have juked the other way. The Cocoon already missed, but he decided to catch it to make Lloyd look a bit good.
Yep.
Awkward, I guess.
Doing him a favor. But Rocky taking a few hits from the minion wave. Blair might not want to go for the overextend. Take note, he is low on mana.
Is that the new Nar skin? That is Samsung Nar, right?
You mentioned it. I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, that's Cuvée skin. It's the first time I've seen it in game. Actually looks pretty nice.
Yeah. Actually haven't gotten a chance to get those skins myself. Darn it. But
you should. You should.
Yeah, I don't think it's available in store anymore. Hopefully I get it through hex tech crafting. Maybe. But anyways, Krelix will be passing by. Oh no, our boy Krelix not able.
It's a less serious game, Arctic. It's fine if he walks past control wards.
But Lloyd though, looks like I just spotted him out. Gonna go straight to human form. But will it break out into the fight though? Looks like Lloyd gonna continue the chase. Ping has been coming on, stun in with the initiate from Lloyd. Rich actually gonna follow up, tries to go for a knockup onto Krelix. Not gonna get the connect though. Drowsy spell meanwhile going on to the Elise, but looks rather Aurelia. But nonetheless, no casualties. Both sides managed to back away.
No, I feel like Kralix just wants to find Lloyd in the enemy jungle and try to start a fight with him, regardless of where the rest of Ascension's members are. Speaking of Ascension's members, Rich just snuck up here.
Oh, Shella. Very, very dangerous position. Manages to dodge the knockup, but still, constant pursuit from Nixar and Rich. Luckily for Shella, had he went that one extra step, could have meant the difference between life and death.
Yeah, he wore his dancing shoes to that one. Since the knockup didn't land, he's not forced to use his flash to get away. Bit more safety on the Caitlyn. Top lane though, Rocky missed an Arrow.
That's a bit of a shame.
Pro players, they can miss every now and then.
Yeah.
It's completely fine. And we're gonna show it on camera.
Only human, but wow, look at that. All that damage going onto Rich. Forced to just back away from there, but Nixar not slowing down anytime soon, getting a last few number of hits onto Krab before he backs away himself. You know, not just gonna allow him to get all that damage onto his brother.
Yeah, of course, Rich does have cleanse on the Rakan, meaning he can get away from those traps and those bindings, but still, Cry and Shell are playing very oppressively in this duo lane, really abusing their range.
Ooh. Looking here towards mid lane though, Raven and G4 have been pretty much farming off here lately, but Lloyd, I'm wondering, is he gonna make things happen? Krelix gonna meet him though. That's a lot of damage right off the bat coming in from Lloyd. G4 is right about to follow, gets the knockup. Sleepy Trouble does not miss on to the Sinza, but still at the end of the day,
yeah, I feel like that was bound to happen, Ark. I feel like the moment he walks into the enemy jungle, he's gonna run into an Elise. Even gives Nexar an assist on that one, so quite unfortunate for Resurgence. Not quite sure what the objective was with that invade.
Nope. I don't know, man. That was definitely a tad bit more on the unnecessary side, but still, let's go ahead and see. It's been very calm here for both Blair and Rocky, but then again, it is an Ornn and a Gnar, so I'm honestly not as surprised. And if you're going to notice, a lot of the action from these junglers have been lingering towards this bottom side, and it's not even in the form of ganks. Sure, that first one a gank, but other than that, it was mostly both junglers suddenly spotting out each other. More so Lloyd surprising Krelix.
You know, I'm trying to figure out what Krelix was actually doing. You remember how Raven got the early double kill at level 3? He's actually just giving back the kills over to G4.
Now that you mention it, that's exactly what
happened.
So it's a bit of a shame. You know, you already had that nice double kill advantage. But then again, passing 2 kills back to Ascension Gaming, particularly to G4. So a lot voided out in that opportunity, but looks like G4 gonna go straight in onto Raven. Krelix is gonna try to hold down while Raven tries to back away, but the ignite damage just too much for him to deal with. 2-0 in favor of Ascension Gaming.
Yeah, well played by G4. The placement on his flawless duet was beautiful. Locks down Raven and for enough time to take him down. You see, that's what happens when you give over the kills, and the lead that Raven got during the earlier minutes basically gone right now, since G4 can all in over and over.
Oh, this is such a shame. With the missteps. Okay, here's what I've been struggling with. A lot of these times, a lot of the kills that Ascension Gaming managed to rake up was because of these unnecessary positions, whether it be Kralix going for an overreach into Ascension Gaming's jungle, or just generally lingering in places where he could have spent much more better time, but still Raven, the collabs from G4 and Lloyd. Teleport coming in from Resurgence to have tried to help out, but didn't stand a chance. I think this is going to be a very clear first turret. Easy take, less than 10 minutes from Ascension Gaming.
Yeah, so the Elise pick is working out, but it does help when the enemy jungler just walks into your own jungle and gives your mid laner 4 free kills. G4 pretty much ahead in this matchup. 5-0 on the arena, not bad of a KDA.
Oh, this is going to be interesting, but looks like Ascension Gaming will just abort from a gank for now. But Kralix luckily was in the vicinity if ever any shenanigans did happen between both sides here.
Alright, so Kralix is trying to force a gank here bot lane. There's not much for him to do on the bot side of the map. Note that most of his camps have already been cleared. He's really trying to force the issue bot side, but now he's gonna walk back mid lane. You know, whenever he walks to the enemy jungle, I just sort of expect him to die.
It's like you kind of hold your breath, and all of a sudden he meets up with Lloyd, meets up potentially with G4, but looks like Nixar really wanting to get a few hits onto Shella and Kra.
That's a very early Trinity Force on G4 right now. Only 11 minutes into the game, and we didn't mention Kralix was forcing the issue. This is pretty much how you do jokes. He's already behind one level compared to his AD carry. Shella is level 7, Kralix still level 6.
I mean, with 5 kills all being centered onto G4, it's a good done deal. Unless Resurgence could do anything to try to at least balance things out with the standing.
There's 5 Resurgence members bot lane, Arctic.
Wow, this is interesting. So, looks like Lloyd gonna boot himself into the... Oh, gets the drowsy spell though, gonna repel himself just so that he could avoid any potential damage follow up from Resurgence. That's actually a nice way to use the repel.
That's pretty much how you brute force an enemy tower. Just send 5 people bot. No, that Blair is... Hold that thought, Blair is here.
Call of the Forge God gets the knock up onto G4. Meanwhile, G4 tries to wait until the rest of Ascension Gaming responds, but unfortunately, with the damage from Resurgence, a bit too much for him to deal with there.
Did you see that 750 gold that just went to Kralix? The fact that we was giving G4 earlier kills was so that he could set up for the shutdown gold once G4 face checks into the jungle. All of the things he did dying earlier was all tactical and all planned.
Okay, sure, Chisto, sure.
No, it was. I swear. Tactical feeding is a thing in League of Legends.
Sure.
No, it's a classic Resurgence strat. You remember how Shinsekai was
Fair.
feeding on Aatrox?
Fair point.
This time Kralix was feeding early on Shinzao.
And just kind of regenerates a bit of gold, but take note, still... Okay, so there we go. Looks like he did manage to complete his first jungle item.
It's all planned. You need to time it properly.
Teleport is coming in from Nixar to deal with the push coming in from Shell and Krat towards topside. Looks like they have already swapped lanes, in which case...
Yeah, teleport AD carries. He's gonna pick up farm. Of course, Kai'Sa still not online. Building towards the Storm Razor, which is actually the new popular build on Kai'Sa. Previously, it was mostly Ginsu's Rage Blade into Nashor's Tooth, but I've seen a lot of people go for Storm Razors so that you could also get the upgrade on her Q. Adds a bit more damage.
Meanwhile, looks like we're already having a back from Shella and Kra. No real reason to stick around too long in lane, especially with the absence of a turret. But of course, this is why exactly that's going to be the hold coming in from Kra. But great initiate coming in from Rich to hold down the members of Resurgence's bot lane. Kra might not be long of this road. Raven tries to help out, but still could be a good done deal. 2-0 once again in favor of Ascension Gaming.
Yeah, you know you're confident to go for that fight when it's the Kai'Sa that's jumping in first with Killer Instinct. Rich also played that masterfully, catching the binding first and using Cleanse just to immediately use all and lock down the members of Resurgence now. Ascension Gaming gonna take even more off this map. Pretty much a free Infernal Drake. Gonna go over to G4 and Rocky, unless if that Redemption stole that, I probably would have tilted.
Oh man, that would have been so unfortunate. But nonetheless, I mean, Ascension Gaming definitely starting to build up right here. I'm yet to see a moment where Resurgence shines in this game as a fuller unit, but looks like Call of the Forge God in the nick of time from Blair to help save Raven, but still, he's actually going to find himself in a sticky situation. Charles will be joining the fray as well, but man, 2 members down from the side of Resurgence as a result. They try to respond, but they still end up on the short end of the stick, even with heavier numbers.
And the biggest thing there is G4 actually survives after that entire ordeal. Raven jumped back in, hoping he could get the burst down onto G4, but he still had his dash available. Knicks are doing a weird dance.
Okay, so this is when you know that it's just all the more chill for this last game for Resurgence.
They're having fun.
Gaming. Yeah.
They deserve to. They just qualified for playoffs. This is where... Yes! That's off.
You just celebrate, man.
Yeah.
You know, I think after this, of course they're gonna want to prepare for the playoffs, but I think these guys deserve a nice dinner out celebration for a job well done. Pat on the back. Top 4 is a pretty huge thing considering you have 8 of the biggest and baddest in Southeast Asia.
Not the baddest though. They're good people. They're good players.
Fair enough.
Okay, Ascension setting up for pick here, but Kra already saw them walk into that push. Gonna land the binding. Not much gonna happen. Lloyd does have the Rift Herald.
Oh.
Question is, where did they decide to spot it? Teleport was cancelled. Okay.
Yeah, it would have been a bit dangerous if we continued that though. Oh, Drowsy Spell. Of course, once again, loving the use of this Repel to avoid any capitalization from Resurgence to get some real damage in the midst of Elise's snooze.
I wonder how Elise doesn't fall down when she falls asleep while she's in Repel.
That's some pretty strong Spider-Man tactics, man.
You need to fall down. You can't keep yourself up there. Once you fall asleep, you lose consciousness.
No, she has a nice pull on the web.
But shouldn't she drop down? Don't you hold on to the web?
No, it's attached to... I don't know the anatomy of a spider, so...
I was watching Spider-Man and I'm pretty sure he holds onto the web after he launches it from his wrist.
Ah, well, Spider-Man, to be fair, has a different
This
anatomy.
was Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. This was old school.
Oh, okay. So we're talking about who the better Spider-Man is there now. But,
I like Tobey Maguire, but Blair likes... Or Rocky likes Blair.
Yep. I don't know. It's like in the boxer. But still, that's going to be called the Forge God. Will it be enough, though? Rocky, you have to be very, very careful because Kra going to be joining the fight as well. But, fortunately gets taken down as soon as he gets into the wall. And that'll be the ultimate to take Rocky's life in exchange. 1 for 1. That was interesting.
Prolix is here. Mixer doesn't realize that the Shinzao was there.
Nope, not at all. Oh, but Shella gonna be joining in as well. But take note, these are a few squishy members unless G4 eats the Drowsy, taking turret damage, takes the damage from Raven, tries to get an outplay, but not gonna be enough as Raven gets the kill.
Yeah, no early outplay right there. Too much damage taken by G4. The Rift Arrow will be spawned bot lane, gonna assist the siege of Ascension Gaming. Well, the Skrillex doesn't exactly have wave gears. Playing Shinzao has to walk up to the wave. It's very scary to walk up to a Rakan and an Elise.
Ooh.
Here comes Ornn.
It's just gonna break out into a fight, though. Looks like Ascension Gaming just gonna abandon Rift Herald this time soon.
And it's taking the final outer tier turret off the map. Gonna pinch Resurgence even more towards their own base. Ascension Gaming has been setting up for picks quite well. See the vision in the jungle of Resurgence. It's very scary to face check into an Elise, which is very much what Elise did back in the day.
Okay, actually. Oh no, but Lloyd and Rich though, looking for a set, but it won't be the case. We'll just get a dark binding in the face, Rich. So, a little bit of a push in right here, but I don't think Resurgence really gonna press the issue of pushing towards this mid lane. Not really the right numbers here, considering how clumped up Ascension Gaming is right now.
Rocky has red buff and 2 levels out of Blair. Just gonna instantly flash out. That's what you have to do. There's no way you're not gonna get away from Rocky. Now I'm looking at the items of Rocky. I want that to be a Ginsu's Rage Blade. Second item on R.
Is it though? You know what?
I want it to be.
I think it might be. I mean, like we were talking about earlier, this was a game where, I mean, sure, ideally you'd want to win, but at the same time, with placements not really getting affected by this game,
you'd want to have fun.
Yeah. I mean, I think internally you already have that dose of happiness to qualify for playoffs, but looks like we'll be seeing the next fight right here. G4 gonna go straight in onto Krelix right there. Krelix with no surviving chance just gets decimated with all that damage. Blair might be the next to follow right here. Already 2 downs. Members for the count from Resurgence and triple kill. Wow, that was way too much for Resurgence to deal with. 4 for nothing.
Yeah, Lloyd was buzzkill, denying the quadra kill away from G4. It was very easy for G4 to last hit everyone. Does have his point and click dash. Easy pickings there for Ascension. Now, Resurgence, what you gonna do? Ascension seem to be enjoying themselves a little bit more in this specific game.
Exactly. Look at that. Just threading through different turrets. Already losing out on 2 outer ones. So that said, not really much Resurgence can do around the map. We're already at a point where it's 10,000 gold of a difference. Subtly climbing in favor of the team's favor. Let's check out this replay though.
Yeah, so this is the initial catch onto G4. He's able to land this flawless duet, which allows him to enter the fight, and he's just pretty fed Irelia at this point. Chooses his target. Lloyd just executes Orin, because why not? He can. I'm not gonna give you a quadra kill. I need my highlights too.
Resurgence, in the meantime, though, starting to group up. Of course, we're already 20 minutes into this game. Baron is alive and well for the taking for either side here. Of course, Ascension Gaming, should they take that buff, would make it all the more easier to put Resurgence in an awkward position in this game. But of course, for Resurgence, could be their salvation if they take it for themselves.
I feel like Resurgence Arctic is already in a pretty awkward position. They're facing around a 10k gold lead at 21 minutes against a team that just have a fairly good... Okay, how many times have we seen this throughout the entire game? Every time, he just eats the bubble and then repels. I don't think a Paddle Star has ever landed on the Lloyd this entire game. Probably the level 3 fight, but after that, every time it's just been a bunch of bubbles.
Yep. Just taking a snooze from wherever upper part he ends up on Summoner's Rift.
Actually, where does Elise repel into?
Actually, that's always been a question on my mind. Like,
is there a roof?
Where does she throw the web at in the first place for her to be able to rappel up? Isn't it just mostly sky on Summoner's Rift? Unless maybe, of course, by animation, there's trees around. But, okay, that's just me overthinking it.
Yeah, always want to think about those things.
Yeah, it's like 3 a.m. thoughts.
Yeah.
Oh, but
Baron.
Interesting enough, Ascension Gaming is going to be going for Baron Nashor. Craw is slowly making his way, but the numbers definitely looking pretty darn good for Ascension Gaming to get an easy take on this particular objective, and that'll be it right there.
Yeah, no challenge from Resurgence. They know that they don't need to. They don't have to. They can't. Would have been a pretty tricky situation, but Rocky does have his Ginto's Rage Blade primed and ready here.
Oh, is this going to be breaking out into a bigger fight? Luckily, Shella able to snipe down Rocky, holding the fort, in which case, take note, both top laners have gone down for the count, and Ascension looks like they're raring to go to penetrate the base of Resurgence.
Penetrate the base is probably not the best way to put it, but
it's all in your mind, Chisto. It's all in your mind. But initiate coming in from Rich right there. Looks like they're raring to go for a finish here. Krelix will be the next to fall. Shell is the only surviving member of the Singaporean squad. Looks like he'll manage to survive the tail, but at what cost? Ascension Gaming's going to get a hell lot out of this.
yeah, would you say that Ascension Gaming successfully penetrated Resurgence's base?
Actually. Looks like going for a turret here in the mid lane, though. Ascension, not really much of a wave there just yet. Okay, just arrived. But, oh, Lloyd, be careful, my friend. Go straight onto Shella. But there's the outplay right there. Still, numbers definitely in Ascension Gaming's favor. Teleport comes in from Rocky. With a teleport in, this actually might mean that they want to go for a finish. But, okay, maybe just going to prolong it all the more. Going to take the safer route right here.
I think I recall they do have Baron empowered because going to reset finally. Okay, Raven Flash.
Raven gonna try for something. Okay, looks like not gonna go for any further pursuit. There's only one turret left towards the bot lane though.
Okay. Pretty fun game, Arctic.
Yeah,
Pretty fun game in my opinion. Ascension clearly showing why they're the most dominant team in Group A. Well on their way to finishing the Group 6-0.
We were talking about how this is kind of a fun game. Ascension Gaming clearly having a lot of fun on the Rift right now. Look at this, 6-20. Past 10,000 of a gold difference already. Probably going to hit 20,000 sometime soon.
Yeah, pretty close to that. Now, bot lane is the final thing to push down on. This is a pretty textbook way to end League of Legends game. Now, Rich is going to face check. He does have...
Oh, looks like Rocky going to join the fray. Rich able to tether onto his teammate to make the escape, but looks like this might be the cleanup right here already. 2 members down from Resurgence. I think this is going to be game, Chisto.
Yeah, this should be the game for Ascension Gaming. They're going to finish the group stage in first place. Undefeated still. Just going to pad their stats. Call to Forge. It doesn't even matter. Another cocoon from Lloyd.
Yep, double kill right there for Nixar. Raven wanted to get that last kill, but unfortunately just can't. That'll be the ace. It's a good done deal, ladies and gents. Of course, we have the undefeated Pride of Thailand gonna go 6-0 towards the end of the day of this group stage.